James here before the show to tell you that Wednesday, November 27th, the day before Thanksgiving, brings the return of the Darling Homebody Shopping Network live at Darling Homebody on Facebook and Twitch. It'll be an evening of shopping where all of Nicole's store will be 20% off. Yeah! Not just that, but every $20 you spend, you'll receive a free random sticker, and get there early because the first 4 orders of $50 or more will receive a free mystery bag, and the first orders over $100 will receive a free Snowflake Dino Cat figurine. We'll be debuting new products, pins, sticker books, the annual sticker sheet, and more. This year, we will finally break that $1,000 barrier in one single stream. I can smell it. So Wednesday, November 27th, 4 to 8 p.m. Central Time, live at Darling Homebody on Facebook and Twitch. Be there. Now, onto the show.
Welcome in to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marshland Media Empire Experience conglomeration. Mind meld seeping into your bodies, straight through your pores, up into your eyeballs, and into your heart. That breaks down episode by episode, beat by beat, and sweat by sweat. Lucha Underground from the El Rey Network. I am one of your hosts. My name is Sean. I say hello, and with me is another host. His name is James. James, hello.
Buongiorno.
What a delicious frozen pizza brand.
Sean, I have some news that we gotta talk about.
You waited to break up with me until we started the podcast? James,
no.
This is off-mic conversation.
This is some hot news fresh off the presses. Devil's Night, JCW, October 30th. Willie Mack takes the JCW Heavyweight Championship belt back, baby.
That's right. That's right. Because who do you have who he took it?
It was
who
Matt
he traded
Cross.
the title with? It was Matt Cross. Okay, 'cause Matt Cross, I think, still might be at the top of the contender list. Which, honestly, we got to start watching JCW. Because if JCW is just like every month is a new Matt Cross, Willie Mack match, that sounds like if I... Okay, I'm going to jump a little bit, but it's all connected, I promise. You know how some people don't want to go to heaven when they die because they're afraid it's going to be the same thing every day forever and ever and ever, and eventually just becomes like boring and mind-numbing?
Wait, you said they don't want to go to heaven or hell?
Heaven.
Okay.
Hell, I feel like those are, because they're like, at least hell, something happens.
Yeah.
Heaven is just like, to me, heaven is going to be Matt Cross and Willie Mack over and over and over. Different matches, different stipulations. Even if it was the same match, actually, I don't care. I'm still happy to be there. I'm just happy to watch that forever.
I hope my heaven is it's Nicole, myself, our 3 cats. We're in a beautiful finished basement, like 68 degrees to like 72, depending on what time. We're on just the most relaxing couch, and we're watching Tubi TV. We are fine with the ads because during the ad breaks, we can go up and get pee-pee's breaks and also get pee-pee, aka popcorn and Pepsi.
Hey, all right. I got so afraid that Coca-Cola was sponsoring this podcast for 2 seconds.
No.
They're not. I know. I am aware of that now.
It's Pepsi, guys. Go and get yourself some Mountain Dew. Also, I think they sell dog food as well. Pepsi Cola brand. It's a big thing.
Hey, if you could be any sort of dog food that's on the market, would you be in a bag or a can?
I'd be in a bag because like a can, you're messy.
See, I feel like the bag is messier. I feel like a can, you get that real clean, and you pull it off, and you just like kind of, I don't know. I feel like you can't rinse out a bag.
Yeah, but you just throw the bag away.
Yeah, but you can rinse, but then it's just got a dirty bag.
Well, but the bag reseals like you can wrap up the bag. Do you have a dog?
No, absolutely not.
I have a cat, and we have both wet food and dry food. The dry food is significantly less messy.
Okay, good to know. Hey, speaking of wet food, I got some wet food, which is a euphemism for messy boner, for this episode of Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. You look disappointed. You want me to take that one again?
One, I'm tired. Henry kept bugging me. I want to just shake that cat every time I see him sleeping during the day, so he just is zonked out all night.
This is a war. I don't think you want to start this Cold War of constantly waking each other up.
No,
Henry has more time.
I'm going to start shaking this dude. It's gotten a lot of comic material. Crumb Bums is coming back, guys. The first concept art from Lance is looking so good. I'm so excited about it. And he's equally excited about it. So
let's go.
I've written just like maybe 17 pages in the last couple weeks. It's really good.
And if you're listening, you're like, what the hell is a Crumb Bums? You shut the fuck up and you listen some more. It's a very sweet, very lovely, very wholesome comic involving James, Nicole, and their cats. And it's wonderful. Big ol', we're not even in plugs, and we're plugging Crumb Bums because it's very sweet. It's very wholesome. You're going to want to check it out.
Yeah, it's a talking cat comic. It's real good. And we're switching artists because Nicole was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, can Lance do it? And she's like, yeah, if he'll actually do it. And then Lance said, yeah, okay. And then Nicole's like, oh shit, it's going to be so popular now.
Speaking of comics, this is a transition that I might not have anything for. Do we have any developments along the, oh my gosh, help me out. What is the name of this, the comic series that we've been talking about every week for the past couple of weeks? Luchaverse, thank you.
I do. I read the Vampiro, Rockabilly, Hellbilly, whatever it's called. It's great, guys. You got to check that out. Art's fantastic. Vampiro's just slicing vampires up. It's gnarly. And then Luchaverse, I read all 3 issues. That's great. It comes back in January, I think, with the... It's I forget the dude, but it's going to be them like H.P. Lovecraftian horror with them like taking down these demons. It's gonna be gnarly, guys.
That's not the universe I expected them to go into.
No, they can do whatever they want, baby.
Hell yeah. That's the best part when you can do whatever you want and you get the I knew you could do anything. I still did not expect this. That's very exciting. It's very exciting.
So if you guys are into comic books, go to your local comic shop. If you're on the Pullbox subscribers, tell them, hey, I want on this Luchaverse, whatever you can get, and support local comic book stores. And that is through the Master Republic, and it is Massive Comics that publishes it.
Hell yeah. I don't think I've ever heard you have the hiccups.
Oh, I have them quite frequently.
I must have heard. Yes, you probably have had them in front of me.
But I get rid of them pretty quick.
I feel like that's actually your secret tech to Pissmas. Pissmas, if you're wondering, which you should not be, it's a very important tradition we have every year, where we drink a lot of liquids and podcast, and we are not allowed to pee. And thus is tradition. But I feel like that's your secret tech every Pissmas, why you never have to pee, is because you hiccup instead.
Well, no, the secret technique is I point to the other side of the room and I say, hey guys, look, and then I Ouroboros myself and I drink the piss, so it just goes right down the throat. So technically I didn't pee, I'm still drinking.
You know something, James? Every time you say, hey, look over there and point, I know something fucked up is going on behind me.
Yeah.
I just never knew what.
Well, now you know, at least on Pissmas, or maybe on Goosemas as well, I'm Ouroboros myself.
Stop Ouroboros yourself. We gotta record a podcast about Season 3, Episode 16 of Lucha Underground, titled The Battle of the Bulls. And we put in a bunch of bull sounds.
You're gonna have to take point on this because when did you watch this episode?
A little while ago, but okay. I got you.
Because I watched this a month ago.
Yeah, because James is, in addition to being a lovely friend, which is unrelated to what I'm about to say, but is also a very giving co-host on this show, put up with me and just being depressed for most of November. So I missed more than a couple of episodes. So glad to be here.
I'm giving. I'm very demure. I'm very substance.
You're very substance. You are very Demi Moore. A pile. Did you see Substance, by the way?
Yeah, man, it fucking ruled. I think I've talked about it on this show.
Oh, okay. I don't think we've talked about it on this show. Maybe we must have.
I cried at the ending because I thought, wow, someone is making the most beautiful movie I've ever seen. And if you've seen the ending, but if you know me, you would understand why I'm crying. I'm like, I can't believe like this art-ass film, this beautiful movie ended this way. I'm just like, this is filmmaking. This is what I wanted.
Art-ass body horror film. It's beautiful. I've never been... Spoiler alert, 3, 2. I've never been so moved by a puddle on the ground. It's glorious. It's a very good movie.
Not really that ending. I mean, when, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, when she's just raining blood everywhere, I was like, oh my God. It's captivating.
Yo, and she just wants to be loved. The most human desire of, I just want to be loved. And instead of being loved, I'm being screamed at. I cried at that as well. The puddle on the ground, that final shot, I didn't cry at it so much. That was it stuck with me. Like, I still think about that shot of Demi Moore looking up, but she's not a body anymore. She's just a puddle. It stuck with me, but that was the culmination. That was such a good wrap up of like everything about that movie in a single shot.
Yeah, because at first, the opening, I was like, did we really need this? But how it ends, I was like, oh no, we need it. Like, this was such Sharna would be proud, you know.
Why?
Because it's wrapping up, like perfectly, like a herald does.
Like a herald. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that's what heralds do. It is a very good herald. It's a better movie, though.
Why do I know what a herald is and you forgot?
I know what a mod is.
Okay.
That's all to that sentence.
I know what a mod is. Either a moderator or a modification on a video game.
Or a British person wearing suits in a time of rock and roll.
And a moped, bitch.
Yeah. Love rain on me. It's a Who song.
Okay, and they were of mod culture?
I think specifically the album and the movie that song comes from deals a lot with mod culture. But yeah, I would say the Who were sort of like card-carrying members of the mod, or very prevalent in mod culture.
There's an episode of The Mighty Boosh where they go to this jungle and there's a mod there who's like his Noel Fielding's like adoptive father from the jungle, and he's a mod, and there's these mod foxes or wolves in there, and they're like doing a little dance. It rules, guys.
Hell yeah. You know what else rules? Second, I hope I do this transition again and we have another topic to come back to. But what else rules is season 3, episode 16 of Lucha Underground, titled Battle of the Bulls. Giving it a moment to see if that inspires any other train of thought.
From me, I gotta read my notes to know what the hell's going on first.
All right. Well, because it's been a while, and the recaps are a great job of like what to expect this episode. Quick little recap up top. Battle of the Bulls has been a tournament going on for the past couple episodes. It's been a series of 4-way matches. The winner of each 4-way match is going on to the finals, which is tonight, which will be a final 4-way match. This is going to be elimination rules. Last luchador standing is the #1 contender to the Lucha Underground Championship. Also going on tonight, the championship match between former champ Sexy Star and current champ Notorious Rascal Johnny Mundo. In addition, we gotta remember Cobra Moon, who is not just a slithering perv for Daga. She is also a queen who is slowly but assuredly building her kingdom back. And part of building that kingdom is going to be capturing the renegade and rebellious AWOL general of her soldiers, the trios champion Drago. So there's a lot going on. So we get played to the desk by Metalachi. Vampiro follows along as Matt sets us up for that championship cage match. I apologize, I did not mention it is a cage match tonight. Before sending us to the ring for the finals of that Battle of the Bulls tournament.
Oh man, I'd love to see a Dominator cage match.
Oh, no, wait, what?
Yeah,
How?
it's a big Dominator, and you have to like run to the center and be like, oh man, it's gonna kill us. So it's like a it's a nice little play on, the trash compactor scene, but
From
also
the Star Wars.
it brings another element of strategy of like, hey, do I try to take him out right now, or will I eventually fall over because the Dominator pushes me real hard?
All right. And just, of course, because it's been a while, maybe I forgot. Maybe our listeners forgot. James, what exactly is a Dominator?
Hey, guys, go back to season 1 and figure it out.
It's a crime, is what it is. No Dominator cage matches. We can't know. James, let me ask you this as well. How do you feel about the Battle of the Bulls going into these finals? I know it's been a while, but we've been seeing Battle of the Bulls matches for a couple weeks now. We saw 4 in total.
I loved all of them, I think.
Okay, yep. Good answer.
I don't like who's in these Battle of the Bulls? Like do we have 2 this match, or is this the final match to figure out who goes?
This is the final match.
Okay, and I know it's Mac. No.
Yes. The finals are the Mac, PJ Black, Jeremiah Crane, and he's not a man, he is a machine, Cage.
And every cage match with that Cage is a Dominator match because he's gonna dom your ass.
Okay, great. Yep. Cage, please dom us. You need to stop bringing up the Dominator. It is a federal crime what we do to these dogs. If you don't know what a Dominator is, go back and listen. It's not going to make you feel better, but it will give you more knowledge, which will make you more powerful.
You guys are going to be like,
You guys are gonna send us to federal prison. And
no.
Yes, it's a crime.
There's a lot of people who should be in federal prison that aren't, and I'll just be like, they're not there, so why would you say this for me just coming up with an invention?
Yeah,
that's the American way. That's a free market, okay? I think of an invention, and if the market dictates that we need it, well, you want to know what? It's fine. If they don't, well, you want to know what? It's not a crime. It just means you lost an investment.
Yeah, and you lost an investment of not being a fool if you didn't watch this match. Not all transitions are going to be as good as the other ones, and that's okay.
You could have just said, like, hey, let's go to the match. That would have been better.
I could have. Yeah, I could have. James, I could have done a lot of things.
Yeah.
I could have gone to school to become a librarian.
It's wild that you said that. And my option was going to be like, you could have gone to school for literally anything besides theater.
Yeah. Librarian would have been great. Now I'm working front door at a Christmas pop-up bar, which I actually really like. It's kind of nice. You get to say hello. All I have to do is be really nice to people and count.
Yeah.
Like those are 2 things I can do.
Why do you have to count?
Yeah, I have to count, people coming in.
Oh.
I'm selling them tickets at the door and stuff. There's a cover. So I'm dealing with money.
All right.
Yeah.
You should just be like double middle fingers to the fire marshal. I'm letting everyone in.
I would never. I love our fire marshal. Shouts out to the first responders. Backdraft is a great movie. Fuck you.
I like the third responders.
Who are the third responders?
The people cleaning up the mess, baby.
Yeah, let's go. It's gotta be a mess of bodies in this fucking final Battle of the Bulls final 4-way. Matt's grandma has a crush on Vampiro. Vampiro asks, does she have a curfew? No, but she has prescription pills. Then she's going out with me tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, Vampiro.
He knows his priorities. He knows his character.
I'm not gonna lie. I started reading that note before I finished reading that note. I did not know where it was going. Thrilled to see where it went.
Because remember, guys, month ago.
Been a minute. Yeah. Vampiro rewriting World of Darkness lore as a vampire who loves werewolves in PJ Black. I just want to play Vampire the Masquerade. Is that what that note is really about?
It's like, has he not seen the movie series Underworld?
I know. Everyone's favorite movie series that everyone has seen.
Oh, my ex and I we loved those fuckers. We went and saw all the ones that were released while we were dating. We went and saw them in the theater.
Wow.
Even the Rise of the Lycan, the spin-off, we were like, we're in for it.
You walked out saying, Rise of the Lycan, more as Rise of the Lovin', because I'm loving this vampire werewolf shenanigans and chicanery.
And then we find out when a vampire and a werewolf have a baby, it can bring the two species together.
Yeah. Ew.
Because at the end of the day, it's the humans that are the enemy. That's an allegory for these politics. It's these two-party systems that's trying to pit us all together.
Yeah, and the humans, in this case, are the large corporations that are eating you from the inside out.
Well, wait, no. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the humans that are pitting us together, which the humans are the large corporations like Halliburton, McDonald's, PepsiCo.
If you had to, werewolf or vampire, where are you going on that?
Oh, man, werewolves are like, but like vampires are usually hot. They're rich most of the time. And boy, oh boy, do they fuck, as I hear from Nicole's descriptions of True Blood.
Wonderful.
I'm at the perfect age to become a vampire. I think from 18 to 55 is like the best time to become a vampire. Too early, people are like, well, we're not going to fuck you. You're like a kid. And you're like, I'm 117. And that's because I became a vampire 100 years ago when I was 17.
You don't want to be, is it Kirsten Dunst in Interview with a Vampire?
Yeah, that's sad, you know?
Yeah, you don't want to be Kirsten Dunst.
Like she needs
in
love.
everything else. You want to be, to clarify, you want to be Kirsten Dunst in literally everything else.
Yeah, like Small Soldiers. Your dad's Phil Hartman?
Hell the fuck yeah.
Oh my God.
God, Phil Hartman is very good at everything Phil Hartman does.
It's truly tragic. It's so fucked up.
I think I would be a werewolf because I feel like there's no way to be a good vampire unless you're Blade.
Oh, Sean, that means if you impregnate me, we can bring the species together.
James. James.
I can't do it. I got snipped.
James.
Guys, I'm exhausted, so I'm starting to get into a mood.
Yeah, the mood is Sonic and Shadow fan fiction. Do you want to talk about this wrestling match now?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, do you want to talk about the gift that you sent me, which I sent Sean a screen cap and I said, this year's Christmas present for you, and it was a plushie of pregnant Sonic.
I'm so upset. The weirdest part, James and I, we're in our 30s. You know, we're men of a certain age.
Yeah.
And it's that it's not pregnant Sonic. I noticed it watching our friend AWOL512 stream, and he has a bunch of bumpers made up, and one of them is pregnant Sonic and pregnant Shadow looking at each other. And the fact that AWOL does a great job on these bumper spots. So it looks fairly professional. But the fact that it looks so fairly professional, Sonic pregnant is almost mainstream.
Yeah.
Which is, it feels, I don't know. It to me, that indicates aging, is that this thing that was so wild and extreme before is like quickly becoming Creed-esque levels of mainstream relevant. Sonic pregnancy, part of me is thrilled that it's being accepted into the mainstream so we can focus on other truly weird shit. But it also, again, it strikes me as the passage of time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so my version of pregnant Sonic is this image that I saw on Tumblr once. I'm sending it to you, and I need you to describe it.
No, oh, this is actually very sweet. Hold on.
No, it's not.
Mistakes into miracles? Oh, I looked down. Oh, I didn't see the whole picture. So there's really, you gotta take this picture. I'm gonna break this image down as I saw it. Which is like it says, it's clearly a hand-drawn fan drawing of Sandy Cheeks, who is a squirrel who lives at the bottom of the sea.
Yes.
As well as like SpongeBob, and they're sort of like, they're like modern day, I'll say yuppie, hipstered out. You know, like they're wearing smart clothing, nice. They look nice.
Man, and Sandy's looking hot as hell.
Sandy is glowing with pregnancy. She's looking down, huge smile at SpongeBob, who's carrying a bunch of stuffed animals. You expect they just bought them for the new baby. And and truly, like, they look at each other with, there is love in their eyes as they're looking at each other. It's a very sweet image. Very, to me, very wholesome.
They're gonna bring the species together, dude.
They're gonna end the war between vamp squirrels and were sponges. And there's like a little, very lovely cursive writing that says, mistakes into miracles, which, like, that's kind of, but you know what? Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it does. An accident is a better word than mistake.
Yeah.
But like into miracles, that's the point. And they're so seeing all of that is when I exclaimed, "Oh, that's very sweet." And then, as you just heard, James encouraged me to continue looking.
Because what's the background image?
So I'm going to do this in the order of how I saw everything. I look down and I see further writing, text on the image, and it says 9/11, never forget. And that's when I see the background image they used for their canvas, which is, of course, 9/11 and the Twin Towers falling. Mistakes into miracles, Daddy. Mistakes into miracles.
When I saw this in like 2011, I laughed so hard, so much that this image is baked into my mind. I love it so much. Whoever made this, internet gold.
It's just, yeah. Yep. Mistakes into miracles, 9/11. Never forget.
Pregnant Sonic. So back to the match.
Yeah, is this a wrestling podcast? It's a good, yeah.
This is how you know an episode's good, is when, like, we're just having a good time.
Hey, whatever we're doing, we're having a good time. The 4-way knuckle lockup, Cage, this is Sparta kicks Crane before giving PJ and Mac a meeting of the minds clearinghouse. Cage goes off. Match starts, Cage goes off, big style. PJ and Crane double team Cage before simultaneously roundhouse kicking each other. Mac goes for an opportunistic pin, but PJ kicks out.
I loved him going right for the pin.
Yeah. I mean, all of them at this point. This is their 4th 4-way match. And like we talked about up before, especially that Mil Muertes match, so many of these guys have come so far. Seeing Mac, and in the case of that qualifying match, Mac and Marty the Moth, take it to Mil Muertes, showing like, hey, we're not the jobbers we were when we came in. We're certified stars, baby. I don't think there's anything as satisfying as witnessing human growth. I'm not going to say hormones because that would be a fun joke, but it's not the sentiment I was trying to purvey.
The human growth I want to see is in test
Sonic
tubes.
pregnant.
In test tubes, baby.
Oh, okay. You don't want to see Sonic grow life in his little belly? You want to see him do it in a test tube?
That would be hedgehog life, not human life.
Oh, I apologize.
Unless he's bringing the species together, him and James Marsden, baby.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Talking about the match. Crane tries to catch Mac off guard. Mac drops the drop toe hold, holds Crane into PJ, incidental 69, but standing moonsaults to both and double pin, double kick out. This match is fucking crazy. Cage is a menace. Mac gets him on his shoulders. PJ goes up for a doomsday device, but Cage, and again, so Cage on Mac's shoulders. The doomsday device is when you have someone on your shoulders, it's a tag team move, and then someone flies off the top rope. So they kind of knock them off their shoulders. Traditionally, a clothesline off of your shoulders. That's what they were trying to do. However, and it bears repeating, Brian Cage is a menace. He catches PJ mid-air while sitting on Mac's shoulders to reverse their doomsday device into a twisting power slam off of Mac's shoulders. Who needs head and shoulders when you got Cage up there power slamming dandruff off of your scalp?
Ooh.
James, I ask you this.
I still me, if someone's giving me free shampoo, I'll take it.
Don't look a gift shampoo in the booth. That's true.
Except I fear with my fragrance allergy these days, Head and Shoulders might not be good for me.
Oh, you know what you might need?
What?
Brian Cage sitting on your shoulders, power slamming enemies and dandruff away from your scalp.
Okay, he hits me so hard I get clean.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is going to be great for tomorrow because I need to record a Death to Squids and I want to get extra high for that. So if he cleans out my system, I'm getting stoned.
You're going to detox with a series of cage power slams?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I could buy that, yeah. If you could detox just by getting beat up by Cage as opposed to peeing a whole lot, would you rather get beat up by Cage or would you rather just pee a whole lot?
I mean, I love peeing, so...
Same.
Yeah.
That's we talk about Cage a lot on this podcast because he's on here a lot, but also we're big fans of him. So it's really hard when it comes down to getting beat up by Cage or peeing. Just know that's how much we love peeing. Merry Pissmas.
The only thing that would make peeing better is if, while you did it, your prostate also spasmed. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I thought you were going to say while you did it, Cage just comes into the bathroom and kicks the shit out of you.
No.
And then your prostate spasms.
Oh,
because
dang.
You just got beat up by a machine.
No, that's when all my sphincters release because he's killed me.
Shouts out to all my sphincters.
Shouts out to sphincters. I don't remember when or why Vampiro says this, but he said, stomp his neck if you want to do some damage.
God, yeah. I don't recall because it's been a month, but yeah, that sounds like some Vampiro shit. This is Cage, by the way, after this, just keeps going on a tear. He hits a boss man slam, Lucha Destroyer, which is the Cage version of the F5. It's House of Fire until, a man who was not in this match, but was eliminated by Cage in the first four-way, Tejano. Also, a man Cage has been feuding with for some time now. They're in the throes of their best of 5 series. Tejano interferes with a fist wrapped in that sandpaper snake he calls a bull rope. After that, Crane pump kicks, max stunners, and PJ springboard 450s to pin and eliminate Cage.
Ooh.
Broke my heart.
At this moment, I thought that Jack Evans would be doing some type of shit to PJ because he's upset with him now.
It's very interesting, yeah. I think because we talked about it last time. A quick little recap. Yeah, Jack Evans and PJ Black, both members of Worldwide Underground, this group that got Johnny the Lucha Underground Championship. There's a lot of infighting, specifically Johnny sort of pitting them against each other. I don't think the last time we saw it, I don't know. This is to the character, of course. But I do think that Jack Evans is too spineless right now to realize how much he's being taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. He just has a spot and he's happy to have a spot. But really, it's so bad. PJ won. PJ is here because he took advantage of his partner. These two friends who should just be playing air guitar and enjoying each other's company in paradise, instead are being set against each other by the society and the dastardly fuck known as Johnny Mundo.
I hope Jack Evans teams up with Drago, because then it's like, oh, I'm the Dragon Slayer, but now the dragon and I need to do some slaying.
Yeah, and I hope they tricked... I just want to see more nunchuck fights in bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
That shit awesome. Crane is in the driver's seat after a commercial break. Running boots, kick neckbreaker combo, covers PJ but only for a 2. Shit gets kind of nuts. Cranial contusion, which is that double underhook pile driver that Jeremiah Crane, aka Sammy Callahan, performs. However, PJ with the wise instincts rolls out to the ground. He doesn't want to get pinned quite yet. Mac and Crane fighting on the top of the rope. Mac gets a stunner off of the top rope. Avalanche stunner to pin and eliminate Jeremiah Crane. We are down to the final 2. Mm-hmm. Mac and PJ Black.
And Nicole also had this same sentiment when Vampiro said this. We just went, what? Vampiro says, and it took me a long time to figure out what I wrote down because I'm like, what does this even mean? When you're on the last house on the left and the street is owned by Mac, ... we were like, what? Huh? And Nicole's like, has Vampiro never seen that movie?
Well, because you do... So Jeremiah Crane is listed as being from the last house on the left.
Oh, okay. At least it makes some sort of sense.
It's one of those things where I don't know if after hearing that, the reason I remember that is because I had to Wikipedia Last House on the Left because I've actually never seen it. It sounds brutal.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Now it makes more sense because Vampiro builds the Mac from the streets. So I guess now I get it now. Never mind. Vampiro's logic, as always, is sound.
Absolutely. There is a reason he will bring the end of the war. He will bring these two species together by impregnating PJ Black, the Darewolf.
And it's the reason why he holds the runner-up as most length of a championship reign in Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
And also holds the record in Juggalo Championship Wrestling as most mannequins fucked on film. Yeah.
Okay, I will say, maybe on film, but there is a Twisted song called The Mannequin, and it's about them falling in love with a mannequin, and I believe Violent J was a featured artist on the song.
Okay, was he ever contracted as a competitor in Juggalo Championship Wrestling?
Oh, who?
Violent J?
Violent J, yeah, wait, yes.
I'm just making sure.
I wonder if Violent J has ever held the championship. Let me check.
Okay. While you check that out, I'm going to finish up this match, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it, bitch.
All right. Why? Strike exchange. Mac collapses. PJ double taunts. He doesn't taunt once. He taunts twice before using a stunner on the Mac. Who knows the secrets of the stunner? You cannot do this. It is as though I went into a fight to the death with my friend Marshland over here and tried to use the secrets of the creature from the Black Lagoon. James will say, "No, bitch, I know these secrets," and will no-sell me and wait for me to turn around and put the stunner right back on me, just like Mac does to PJ here. Stunner, 1, 2, 3. Mac wins the Battle of the Bulls tournament in 11 minutes and 49 seconds.
It ruled. Also,
Yeah, it did.
I do know the powers. I'd whisper in your ear, I'd say, what you don't know is I used to be a creature from the Black Lagoon. And just like in that movie, I turned into a human by not being in the Black Lagoon. But one day I will go into the ocean, very sad in my last moments, just walk into the ocean, never to be seen again.
All that whispered in my ear, and then I'll say, what? Because I wasn't paying attention. And then you'll hit me with that stunner right there.
Yeah, you weren't listening because I had already hit you with a stunner.
I was unconscious.
Yeah. Also, Violent J, this is how you know, think about what he does in music, whatever. In wrestling, he's about the sport. He is the promoter. He has never held the belt. The person who has held it the least amount. So Corporal Robinson had 4 reigns for a combined 2,192 days. Vampiro 3 reigns with a combined of 1,303 days. The person who held it the least for, it says less than, the less than symbol, 1 day.
I know math. Wait, can I guess?
Yeah, who?
I'm going to guess Colt Cabana.
Nope. Officer Colt held it for 8 days.
All right, Officer Colt, not being the least amount. Way to go. Go. Shoot, former WWE guy, could you recognize?
I think they might have been in WCW, and it's very obvious who it would be.
It's very obvious who it would be?
Yeah, it's very obvious for Insane Clown Posse member Violent J.
Oh, okay. Wait, Violent J is the 1 day holder?
No, he's never held it.
Oh, it's very obvious. Okay. You should just tell me then.
Shaggy Too Dope.
God damn it. I quit.
Yeah,
I quit.
very obvious for Insane Clown Posse member.
WCW and WWF superstar.
Okay.
They wrestled. Yeah, they wrestled alongside the Oddities. One of the few wrestlers or anyone to work in all 3 major companies.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure ICP were in ECW as well. Yeah. Fucking Shaggy.
I would hope they were. They came up with Sabu and RVD.
Yeah. And it's just, I feel ECW screams juggalos to me. I don't know. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Isn't it crazy that like Abraham Lincoln is in the American or Illinois wrestling? He was a wrestler.
He is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, not the WWE, the Competitive Wrestling Hall of Fame. Abraham Lincoln.
We're fine with that. That was a sport, Greco-Roman style, but
Sure.
The president-elect is in the WWE. Also, that's collusion. You can't be in that. This should be written in. You cannot be in the WWE Hall of Fame and also have a McMahon in your cabinet. That is collusion. That is clear business savvy bullshit. Get it out of here.
You also shouldn't have a McMahon in the cabinet. This is a country you're running. Don't put McMahons in charge. Don't do that. Stop it.
At the comic book store, we were joking that her in the first presidency that dude did, she was there, Linda McMahon we're talking about.
Yeah.
She was there the entire time as the foreign trade, whatever. And I was like, well, at least she had experience in that because WWE is like a worldwide business. And now what she's doing is like the board of education shit. It's like that she should not be doing that. But
no, James, do you know how much I actively unlearn in my time watching WWE? I could have been a librarian, but no, Goose had to go watch WWE as a kid, and now he thinks that Hurricane Helms, I was about to shit on Hurricane. Hurricane's a great wrestler. That man should have had all the titles in the world. But you see all this knowledge I have about Hurricane Gregory Helms, that I could have used that knowledge for literally anything. I could know math now. Instead, I know the real name of Test, Andrew Martin.
You'd understand the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, instead of understanding Kane Dewey's a 4-year-old boy, you sick son of a bitch. Which is an ECW reference, which is now owned by WWE, so I still count it. Fuck you, Linda. Get away from my education.
Okay, but the joke that we ended up saying was, you want to know what, like, that individual president was probably a terrible person even to her, but she's like, oh, I don't have to go home to my husband if I stay in in Washington. I'll stay here.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, there's just so many bad people in that story.
Yeah.
Whereas like you're literally like, I'm surrounded by just the worst person and then yet again, the worst person. Fuck Vince McMahon.
Okay, one of those I'm bleeping out. We're not saying his name.
Can you bleep both of those out?
Yeah.
All right. ICP forever. That's all I was going to say.
Did you see him on The Daily Show, Violent J?
I did.
Man, that fucking ruled.
Hell yeah. Shouts out to Chantel who sent me that. She's just like, hey, this looks like something this is like something you should see. And I'm like, this is true.
He just like, I vote Democrat because my mom votes Democrat. And then like talking about taxes, he's like, I'd pay more. You want to know what? Because he's not one of those assholes who like was on welfare, then became wealthy. And then it's like, oh, well, I want to keep no, he's like, no, other people are in my position still to this day, and those people need help.
He's everything Kid Rock has always pretended to be.
Oh, yeah.
Violent J we're talking about. Yeah. Anytime you get really mad at Kid Rock for existing, which you should. He's a piece of shit. Just remember Violent J's out there.
Yeah.
And while they platformed Kid Rock once on their first album and never again.
And that was just
fucking love.
You had to do it. He was him and Esham were the biggest in Detroit at that time when it comes to rap music. So they had to get those two people on. And you want to know what? Both of them ended up kind of shitty people.
Yeah. Well, Kid Rock, you could see coming. Go back to listen to Shuffling the Deck if you want to hear our reaction to Kid Rock dropping the N-word in ICP's first album, which is still such a fuck you move to be Kid Rock being like, hey, this is your first album? Yeah, I'll help you out with a feature. N-word. And you're just like, no, wait.
He was not helping them out. I think he's like, pay me $5,000 and I'll be on this album.
Pay me $5,000 and I'll say the N-word for your album.
Yeah.
We don't want that. No, I gotta give me my $5,000.
He's like, okay, you don't want that, but you need it.
No, we don't. Kid Rock, go away forever. We cut to the Temple bathroom. 2/3 of the trio's champions, Aerostar and Phoenix, are looking for their third, Drago. As we mentioned, who was last seen abducted by Vibora, Pindar, and their queen, Cobra Moon.
And I shouted out, I was like, Drago's got Crohn's. That's why they always look for him in the bathroom.
Yep.
As someone with, I think, Crohn's because my sister has it, and everyone's like, yeah, James, it's like having autism. Everyone's like, you got autism, right? I'm like, no, I don't. I was tested. But then,
nice.
Then they're like, when were you tested? And I go, 1996. And they're like, no, yeah, you got it, dude.
Go check it out. I know. I remember specifically where we were driving back from my guitar lessons when my mom was like, and this is okay. Like, she was being super kind about it. We're just talking about my general state of mental health. Her being like, you might have autism. And this being at a time, this wasn't 96, but it was early 2000s. I didn't know a lot about autism. And I was a very fragile male ego. And I was just like, no way I have autism. I'm good at math and being nice to people at a front door of a Christmas pop-up bar. And it's like looking back and I was like, oh, wait, no, hold on.
Yeah. Your mom says that. You just get sad about it and you're like, damn it, I could have been a librarian.
I could have been a librarian.
And then your mom's like, actually, no, I think those two things, they pair together well, like salmon and a Merlot.
What, autism and being a librarian?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If I wasn't being it's one of the few times I wasn't sad. I got machismo about it, and I shouldn't have been. I would have been a lovely librarian if I wasn't so machismo about my possible autism.
Yeah, but instead your autism went into learning about wrestling and getting brain rot that way.
Yeah, great. I can recall the "She's Got Legs" Stacy Keibler intro theme music lyrics by heart. Fuck my taxes, though. So the trios champs are in the bathroom. They're looking for their friend Drago. They're looking into all the stalls, no avail. Cobra appears behind them, asks, are you looking for Drago? She tells them he's come home. But Arrow's not falling for this. He knows his friend. He knows about the vow Drago made a millennia ago about never returning to the reptile tribe. Well, he's broken it. Now Pindar and Vibora will break you. And Arrow Phoenix turn into Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, repeating the names to each other. Like they're just like, Vibora? Pindara? A lovely little goofy moment before a very long, it's not long as in like it kept going, long as in I'm surprised how many little moments they found in this bathroom fight scene.
But first they did go Scooby-Doo on it because Aerostar does turn into a rocket ship and tries to blast out through the roof, but he can't because, he's still just a human being.
He is a human being. However, he does accordion when he hits the ceiling. And then a piece of paper floats back down into Phoenix's arms.
I'm so glad you know exactly what I wanted it to do.
Oh yeah. James, don't worry. I got you.
Yeah.
This fight, as far as bathroom fights, we've seen a couple of bathroom fight scenes, often involving the trios champs, now that I think about it. They're all real good, though. As good as a fight they pick up, Pindar and Vibora are too big. They also have Cobra Moon, so it's 3-on-2. They do not walk away victorious from this one. They fight valiantly, but they fall nonetheless.
And there was, I think in season 1, Drago jumps up and kicks a light fixture, and we were freaking out about it. Luchasaurus, just standing on one leg, does the same thing, and it's like, oh my God, he's huge.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Luchasaurus is so... Shouts out, we said this last time when you debuted, get better soon. Take your time to heal. Golly, watching you in Lucha Underground, fuck. Standing over the bodies of Phoenix and Aerostar, Cobra Moon says next time, it will be my dragon who leaves you two for dead. Shit's crazy. We cut to the locker room where Sexy Star is warming up for her title cage match when she excitedly sees Mac and jumps into his arms. I like this a lot. She's proud of her friend who admits he's just a kid from South Central LA who was never supposed to make it. He can't believe, because Battle of the Bulls tournament winner, also #1 contender for the Lucha Underground title now. Mac's got it going on. She says, look at you now, one match away from becoming champion. Mac responds, and so are you. It's time for you to beat Johnny Mundo's ass. Mac playfully warns her not to get mad when he takes that belt from her. Sexy says it would be an honor to defend it against her friend. They leave together as an unseen tarantula scuttles across the floor.
Yeah. After this, I wrote down, I love Mac and Sexy and that freaky little spider.
The freaky little spider, who we don't know where it came from. I'm still putting my money on Victoria. Also because I like seeing her show up in companies. She's a good wrestler.
I don't know who Victoria is, but we'll figure it out once she gets here.
Cut to Dario's office. Jeremiah Crane is in there asking for a match. Dario is concerned, but ultimately acquiesces. Then Jeremiah climbs a chair to push back a ceiling title, and Dario, we don't know what the match is at this point. We just know that Jeremiah wanted a match, and Dario is wary but says yes. Jeremiah's playing in the ceiling tiles. Dario's like, "What are you doing?" Jeremiah says, "Looking for this," as he pulls down an old tablet. Now, not a fun little electronic device you can download all sorts of books and goodies onto. No, this is a stone tablet. Some real 10 Commandments type of shit. So he pulls this down. It's some sort of ancient language written on it. Jeremiah says, "Left this here when I was a kid."
Wild.
Huh? Yeah, wild. In the hall, so Jeremiah walks out of the office with this tablet that he's had since he was a kid.
Now, does it have Flappy Bird on it?
It's a different kind of tablet.
Oh, dang it.
He's walking down with his childhood tablet, is stopped by jump scare Katrina. Jeremiah says, "Look what I found. Remember when we used to play with this?"
This is getting creepy.
I love it. It's very creepy. Agreed. Jeremiah is billed as from the last house on the left. He is a creepy bastard.
It's making her seem creepy.
She's also creepy. She's a necromancer, James.
All right.
She's creepy as fuck.
Necromancer's fine, but it makes it seem like she was, being a phantom of the temple to this child.
I see yeah. Which, this might be where they're going, a sort of, I've been playing through Control again, which is a great game. It's for the people who made Alan Wake. But part of it is these children discover dimensional travel, and a being sort of appears to them and becomes a guiding force. In the case of Control, it's a benevolent being, sort of like a protector guardian. But what if your guardian angel was a necromancer and her name was Katrina?
Man.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah. Well, no, she's evil though, remember?
I'd be, that thing that always gets bleeped out would be a lot different if she were there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because she would have killed that thing that always gets bleeped out.
Hell yeah, she would have, because Katrina's great.
And she would have said, "Why do you need that when you have all of this?" And then that would start getting bleeped out.
Yeah. And you go, "What?" And she's like, "I'm just kidding. Actually," then she goes back in time because she has that kind of magic. And at least that she said it, because in the moment it seemed like a fun joke, but obviously inappropriate.
No, what I didn't tell you is when she said, "Why would you need all that when you have all this?" And it's the PlayStation that has the TV on it, and Final Fantasy's already loaded in there, and she has gushers.
Wait, Final Fantasy? Listen, I'm sorry, Katrina, that's kind of cool. Final Fantasy neither has Stone Cold Steve Austin or Frog from Chrono Cross.
That was a conversation that was before, yes.
I was in the middle of it when I realized we had this conversation off mic. Shouts out to Matt Apodaca, whose favorite fictional characters are Stone Cold Steve Austin and Frog from Chrono Trigger. Sorry, listeners. So you need to start coming into these podcast sessions early and listening to the stuff we say off mic.
I could have edited this all out.
Fuck.
There was a time when you were like, "Oh yeah, shit, I messed up. You're not going to edit that out." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am going to edit it out. I make you sound nice."
I know. And now I don't know what's happened to me. I blame the Dominator more than anything else.
I clapped right now just so I'd know I'm not editing anything I'm just skipping to the clap.
Jeremiah, see. Katrina puts Jeremiah down for losing the Battle of the Bulls tournament, and now for playing these childish games. Jeremiah says, "I'm not playing childish games. I'm done playing these games," and tells Katrina about the match he just booked with Dario. He's going to make Pascal Mendoza, Mil Muertes' name before becoming the man of 1,000 deaths, wish that he would have died in that earthquake Katrina saved him from. The match Jeremiah requested is himself versus Mil.
Oh.
Whatever history, this mysterious history between Jeremiah and Katrina, we're coming to something with this. It's very, what the fuck is this tablet? Why did Katrina choose Mil over Jeremiah as her vessel? Ooh, I don't know, but I don't know where we're going, but I'm digging this journey, baby.
I bet this is why she didn't choose Jeremiah. He was never in a building that got earthquaked.
Okay, a couple of things. I feel like Katrina, based on her power, she might have caused that earthquake.
Oh yeah, maybe.
So like, I feel like if she really wanted, she could have put Jeremiah in the building with the earthquake. Like, I think Katrina has enough of these out of space, out of time powers that if she really wanted to, she could have put Jeremiah in that building. She could have buried Jeremiah under a pile of rubble, but still chose Mil. It's very curious.
Yeah, because Mil rules, and under that mask, va-va-voo.
Shockingly handsome.
Get that mask off, Ricky what's his real name?
Mil Muertes, Pascal Mendoza?
No, Ricky.
Oh, Ricky Mandel?
No, you keep going.
Reminder for this next match. The Worldwide Underground has been banned from ringside by order of Dario. It is a Lucha Underground Championship cage match. Sexy Star versus the champion, Johnny Mundo.
Ricky Banderas,
thank you. I'm gonna take some water.
Ricky Mandel, come on, man. Two different people.
I didn't know which Ricky you were talking about.
The one who has the mask on, but it has a goddamn handsome face underneath it. Get it off.
Ricky Mandel also wrestles under a mask.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the trios of death.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That entire team to rip off the masks.
Every luchador is a ripoff of Jim Carrey's The Mask.
And then you want to know what? Everyone in the crowd's going to be ripping off their pants.
Yeah, somebody stop me.
Is going to be like all the refs being like, somebody stop them, please.
Please, can we get some order in here? Security? Match starts up. Sexy backs Johnny into a corner before the bell rings. As it does the bell, the competitors meet in the middle. Johnny spits in Sexy's face. The first bell rings, Johnny takes a big old loogie straight to the dome of Sexy Star. Johnny, again, stole the title from Sexy Star, has been just a real piece of shit, and I love him so much. Also, real quick, just another moment of why I love Johnny. Why he's one of my favorite wrestlers. So Johnny, after, this flash forwarding to the future, Johnny would go back to WWE, become John Morrison again. Then he would bounce around. And like we talked before, Johnny's kind of known for having an amorphous last name. Mm-hmm. A lot of times his last name is just whatever company he's working for. It's like when he goes to TNA, he becomes Johnny Impact. He wrestles for an Australian independent promotions. He becomes Johnny Down Under. And in AEW, where he's currently signed, he wrestles as Johnny TV. And he was on Twitter. Someone on I think it was Twitter, was like, it's cool, but like, you could have been Johnny Dynamite, which is the name of AEW's weekly television show. And Johnny Dynamite, it was right there. Why didn't you go with Johnny Dynamite? And he's like, well, my wife's name is Taya Valkyrie.
Oh, dang. He's a wife guy.
It blew my mind to find out how much of a wife guy Johnny TV is. Shouts out to Johnny TV.
That's so cute.
I love it. It's so sweet. Everyone go watch Johnny Loves Taya. It's on YouTube.
So I have a few things before the match began. People are giving Sexy a thumbs down in the crowd, which I thought was very weird. And
she's been getting mixed responses really for a while now. I would say ever since the Mariposa stuff.
I was looking for them. Johnny, when he comes down, his hair is blowing, but there are no fans to be seen. How is that happening?
What do you mean how? That's the power. That's Johnny, baby. When you have so much aura, the wind is constantly blowing around you. Yeah. Johnny, baby.
Johnny got 100 aura points for landing Taya Valkyrie. Johnny got 1,000 aura points for beating up Sexy Star. Johnny got down with the Rizzler and had a chunky chocolate chunk chip with a baked chicken while walking through Costco. Guys, you gotta get Riz pilled.
Did you see their pay-per-view match?
Oh, shoot. I forgot that dude was even a wrestler. I was just referencing on the Perfect Women, this man, the Rizzler, and like his friend, his uncle or whatever, were brought up and they started talking about, they were trying to figure out what's going on with him and Baby Gronk. And they found a TikToker who was the funniest thing to them because it was this man doing like celebrity gossip, but clearly didn't want to do that, but was like, this is what the TikTok algorithm wants, I guess.
Oh my, that's so sad. That actually is kind of my fear, is like going into any art form, entertainment, where you're like, you have noble intentions and then you just kind of fall into the curse of society's algorithm. That's horrifying. That's my hell. If heaven is whatever bullshit I said at the top of this episode, my hell is having to do celebrity gossip news to feed the algorithm.
Oh, no, man. If you need a PA, I'm down. Whatever it takes to get into showbiz.
You should beep that name. I'm sorry, I cut you off, though. So they were talking about, or the funniest thing they saw was this.
Yeah, and he was just saying, like, Baby Gronk got 1,000 aura points for dapping up some lady's name, and just kept, like, that's all the videos were, with, like, the, like, Vine douche behind every time he said, like, aura points or names, and then it had the, wow, noise in there, too. Just all this meme shit, brain rot, but, like, it's brain rot for like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, so it's news reporting for them, so it also has to be brain rot. But like
entertainment news,
yes.
I would like to. I don't know. Maybe it's very old fashioned of me to clarify the difference between news and entertainment news.
Well, yeah. I thought you were saying like, don't call it brain rot, it's entertainment news. I was like, oh, it's still brain rot.
Oh, no, it's brain rot, yeah. Until the Rizzler stops genocide in Gaza, which I do believe he will, I would love to give you some pamphlets on my new Church of the Rizzler. It's entertainment news is brain rot. Always has been. That's like, you know, it's one of those, that's not new to the modern way we're dissecting or disseminating entertainment news. Entertainment news has always been brain rot.
Yeah, but I like the cool brain rot, the meme styles, the mulch, you know? You ever seen those dogs begging for mulch?
I think, yes, on your brain rot stream. James, you streamed brain rot and it ruined me.
Man, brain rot's great.
A little bit of brain rot. I mean, I won't even say goes a long way. I'll say is important. Yeah. Shit, I rotted my brain on professional wrestling, but it's not. We're not robots. We're allowed to just have fun with something sometimes.
Even robots are good to have fun. That's why I fuck a couple of them.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to bring the species together.
Yeah, I was gonna say verbatim words out of my mouth.
I love when Sexy slaps Johnny and he goes, owie.
Yes. I like when Johnny sends Sexy into the ropes, tries to escape while Sexy runs, but Sexy pulls him down, stomps him out. Then she tries to escape, but Johnny catches her, drags Sexy's face across the cage and screams, "This is Slam Town! I'm the mayor!"
That was my next note.
It's the best. He's the mayor of Slam Town, and if you don't appreciate that, then you hate democracy. Johnny taking it to Sexy across the cage gets kind of brutal. It's neat. Mm-hmm. It's real neat stuff. He keeps Sexy he keeps her pinned against the cage until he misses a diving spear. He sends himself into the cage instead. A lot of fighting on the top rope. Like it's interesting how much they play with the cage a lot. Johnny, who I think this is the third cage match in Lucha Underground, and I want to say Johnny has been in all of them. I'm trying to remember them all. I remember the first one, which is Johnny and King Cuerno, which is also a highlight of mine in our time watching Lucha Underground. That match is fucking special. But this one, they always find it's interesting because it's never just a match surrounded by a cage. It is a cage match. You know, the rules change how they move, how they plan things, the timing of everything. It's kind of like there are other examples of this where it's like, when you dip into a genre or a different medium, are you really approaching it as a different thing, or are you just adding new context? And in this case, in these cage matches, no, this is not just a match with a cage. This is a cage match. It's very good.
If there was a cartoon that was wrestling focused, it would be so funny. Like, there's a cage match and the person like, I'm about to win, and then accidentally falls off the top and lands on the ground, and they like pop up and they're like, I'm okay, but I'm the champion, and everyone's like, oh no, and then just their arm is just out of their socket, and they're like, uh-oh, and they're like, wiggle. And he's like, but I'm fine. It's just, we can pop this back in.
It folds, and by wiggle, it folds. I mean, his bone is folding in on itself. He's shattered his arm so severely.
No, it's just popped out of the socket.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Gosh, yeah. Or I'm trying to remember who won it. I think it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Big Show cage match. Are you familiar with this spot? I think it's Stone Cold versus Big Show. Our Big Show just gets involved, but it's a cage match, and at some point, I think it's like 3-on-1 all in there against Stone Cold, but they're surrounded by a cage, so like no one can even get in to help Steve. He's just trapped, and Big Show finally takes Steve. He throws him against the cage wall, but it collapses, and he falls out and wins the match because his opponent accidentally threw him too hard through the cage. It's fucking great. It's such a goofy little spot.
Was this at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
I think so. It would be that time frame, late 90s.
So it was him against McMahon.
Okay, yes. And Big Show and Shane and a bunch of people came into the ring. Yes.
Possibly.
Yeah, I do remember because it is Big Show, because it kind of sets up this trajectory of Big Show sort of making these like goofy mistakes. These sort of like, all you had to do was not throw him into the cage wall. You're too strong for your own good. And I have all this information. Meanwhile, I'm terrified every time I have to do my taxes. Why? You've ruined my brain. Wrestling brain rot fucking is real. But yeah, I remember.
That is what happened.
See, I know all that shit, James, and nothing else. I could have had so many jobs if I didn't spend all of this brain matter on professional wrestling, but I fucking love it.
You also know how to pleasure Catherine.
She's not real.
I would have forgotten about this, but you retweeted that episode with the quote and made her name, you spelt it so like convolutedly that spelling is baked into my mind. So now I know your fake girlfriend that I invented, not him, is named Catherine.
Wait, I thought I invented Catherine.
I mean, no, I invented a fake girlfriend and you named her.
Oh, okay. That's a weird thing to like take pride in, by the way. If like that, I created my friend's fake girlfriend, okay?
No, I thought you were going to say it's weird that like two friends are creating a fake girlfriend for one of them.
Not that to me is normal. What's weird is you taking ownership of it. That's what friends are for. Johnny, Sexy scurries around the top rope. There's a wrestling match going on. Sexy's scurrying around the top rope until Johnny catches a foot. So she abandons the escape to harass Johnny, follows up with a running drop kick. Sexy's trying to escape. She wants to win her title back. There is some, a lot of times you can win via pinfall, submission, or escape. Sexy knows the quickest route to victory, though, and she's using it. She's trying to get the fuck up out of this cage. Johnny tries to escape. Sexy powerbombs him off the cage for a 2 count, which is where I'm like, okay, so this is pinfall, submission, or escape. Sexy climbs again. Johnny catches her. Sexy kicks him off. They're constantly just fighting for the top of this cage. And there was an opportunity. Sexy has an opportunity to escape. However, she wants to punish Johnny. And it's like, ooh, no. Remember when you wanted to escape so bad?
I put down the hubris of Sexy Star, but it's gonna be cool.
Hey, she does the big love for all dive off the top of the cage onto Johnny. Pin for 2. Vampiro is screaming.
It was gnarly.
It was nuts. Sexy climbs to escape again. Johnny meets her this time on the top of the cage. Johnny tries to escape, but gets his foot caught, and Sexy pulls him back in by the hair. There's something, they're all mangled. Getting your ankle caught on the top of the cage.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
I wrote down that Sexy needs to be tickling Johnny for him to like let go, because that would have been obviously the character Johnny Mundo is ticklish. Like it's never been confirmed, but yes, that man and how he acts is ticklish. Tickle his little sides and you go hee hee, and then you jump down and he's like, God, wait, shit,
no. Instead, on the top rope, Sexy delivers a series of unanswered strikes onto Johnny, which Johnny responds to by fighting dirty as you can by ripping off a luchador's mask. Sexy falls to the mat, covering her face from shame. Johnny escapes in 12 minutes and 9 seconds. The same mask that saved Sexy's life may have just cost her this title, and this title as long as Johnny has it forever in Lucha Underground.
This was a gut-wrenching loss, but it for story-wise, it makes sense because now Mac has something to be fucking pissed about. So I love that. Yeah. And
he comes out after the match, top of the ramp, and is like, and makes this statement, hey, fuck you, that's my friend. Taking that title belt, Johnny.
But it is such a Johnny win. And that's why, like, when I saw it, I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened? I had to rewind it to be like, did I miss something? I was like, oh, shoot, he took her mask off. What?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, no, this was a great finish.
Piece of shit. However, also, Johnny TV is a wife guy and we love him. Johnny Mundo, you piece of shit. After the match, we little post-show segment in Cobra's throne room. Drago, handcuffed, chained to a pillar, and alone as Cobra enters in her royal formals. She asks Drago, "Are you ready to call me queen?" "Never." "Too bad." She asks Drago if he's hungry. She says Pindar was going to fetch a small meal, and I was going to let you gnaw on the bones. Drago would rather starve. Cobra giggles at this. She knew he would say this, but she also knows sooner or later a dragon must feed. And then Cobra cackles to herself as she leaves Drago alone again, who can only breathe a burst of flame into the air out of frustration and helplessness. And that is Lucha Underground Season 3, Episode 16, Battle of the Bulls.
Woo! I'm excited to get back into these week by week, Sean, but what you got to plug?
Well, you can find me over at twitch.tv/GooseVonKaiser, where I'm fucking around and doing shit, having a good time. We're having a good time. And yeah, that's about it. That's it for me. Check me out at Jack Frosty's. Get a drink. Watch me at the door. Don't talk to me.
Aw, yeah. Hey, guys. This Wednesday, pre-Thanksgiving Darling Homebody Shopping Network sale, Wednesday, November 28th,
Yay!
from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. I'll be live streaming a bunch of Nicole's merchandise, trying to finally break $1,000 in sales in one day. We got close. We did like 921 time, but we didn't do it. It's going to be 20% off. There's a bunch of other incentives of like first people to order, get bonus stuff, all this cool shit. So please, that is Darling Homebody, proper spelling on that, one word, on Twitch and Facebook. Again, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the 28th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to be there. Please be in the chat, making sure I have something and someone to talk to and about. Please go over there and head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday is the citizens of Townsville Z discussing Powerpuff Girls Z with our boy Dace, aka Dace09 on Twitch.
Yeah, I talk, Dace, I'm blowing up his spot. I hope he doesn't mind. Dace shot me a message about stuff. He was trying to get, he was making sure he was trying to get a hold of you. I think he tried to get at me. Doesn't matter. But he's like, I think I talk too much. And I'm like, I know you didn't talk too much because James is a babbling maniac, and anything. You cannot talk too much if you're on a podcast with James.
Yeah.
James will get his shit in, don't you? You kind of the Brian Cage of podcasting. I'm never worried about you getting your shit in. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The only times when you should be like if James isn't talking, it usually means the podcast isn't for him. I've done some shows that are like they focus a little too much on news stuff in the fandoms they're discussing, and it's like, well, I have nothing to contribute. I'm not up on this new stuff. I'm up on the old stuff. So,
and you're also up on whatever weird bullshit your brain's got cooking up in there. For instance, the Dominator.
Yeah, we talked so much about Final Fantasy VIII, like to the point where I'm like, I just need to do a Final Fantasy VIII podcast because I need this out of my system. I also need to finally beat this game because I've been stuck on the final boss for my entire life.
Final Fantasy Dace, also our friend Dace. I don't know if I've said yet. This is very funny. Lovely human being, hilarious. Make sure you listen to that Powerpuff Girls Z episode, you bitches.
Yep, and $10 patrons get bonus monthly exclusive content on top of the weekly. This month will be the return of Blades Giving, where Joe and we watch some Beyblade stuff and discuss it for an hour. We're discussing Metal Fusion, what people say is like the best series of Beyblade. We're going to watch the first 3 episodes, discuss it, have a blast, guys. And $10 patrons get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast. Let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z, The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, Twitch.tv/Core Winning. It's Corwin from the ROM Complex, as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing. It's Twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. And from Speed Radio, a podcast all about Sonic the Hedgehog. Is he confirmed pregnant? We'll find out when you listen to Speed Radio with Zinny D, a.k.a. Tay. I've been James.
And I've been Sean. This has been Sweaty Time, a pro wrestling, a purple prancer forever. Be like Bob.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.